Hey, welcome back to Tony's Auto Works and Off-Road. Today we're going to be installing a new bumper on my 2007 Toyota 4Runner. I got this bumper from Ascend Fabrications in Minnesota. They've got great products. They just released their rear bumper. You can go on there and you get their rear bumper, you can get their front bumper, and they've got bumpers for several different models of vehicles. And I think they look great. They're super flush. And I think it's going to look great on this. So I'm going to show you the process of what I'm going to do to get this bumper on here. So let's go ahead and get started. Now right out of the box, here's that beautiful, super amazing looking aluminum skid plate that goes on the bottom of the bumper. You can tell they truly have a passion for their work. Everything looks fantastic. Then you get the bag of hardware, and I left the tube ends off. I'll weld those on later because I will eventually get some fiberglass fenders in the mail, and I'll have to cut off pieces of the tube ends. But there's the bumper wings, and then you get some covers that go inside the wings. And everything I did get bare metal because I plan to go gloss black. I think they have an option where they will do a like a rhino liner sort of thing, or like a, I believe they have an option where you can get a flat black similar to the rough style of flat black that you would see on a lot of the mainstream bumpers. But that's totally up between you and them. I'm going gloss black. Now, if you do decide to paint match it to your 4Runner, you're going to want to test fit the bumper first before you go to paint it. So we're going to start by removing these bolts that mount to the frame. Now, as you can see, I've already got my bumper off, so that's a whole nother process, but it's really simple. It's like 15 10mm bolts, and the bumper cover will come off, and then you've got a brace bar here and some frame extensions, but everything comes off very easily. So once you are to this point, we're going to take these nuts off, and we're going to test fit this bumper on here. These nuts are going to be 14mm. Now, obviously, you want to try to do this with an air gun, but unfortunately, the air compressor is down, so that's great. So we're going to use manual tools today, and get yourself a deep socket. And if these have never came off on yours before, they're going to give you a hard time. It's going to be a job, but I had these off just a few weeks ago, so we're going to get these off. Most everything on these Toyota 4Runners is a 10mm, which is fantastic. So this is going to be 10mm, these are 10mm. You can replace this whole AC condenser with 10mm bolts. It's great. It's awesome. So now you'll see when you take off your bumper, you'll see these brackets underneath the headlights. You'll see this one in the center comes straight out from the center of the radiator. And then this one over here, just like the one over there. You want to cut these back just a couple inches. You can completely remove this one if you want, but I'm just going to cut a couple inches off of all three of these brackets. Now on the side of your 4Runner, you're going to want to cut off the bottoms of these this bumper bracket right here. You want to cut off this bottom piece. You want to bend in or cut off this tab on both sides. So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and reinstall our nuts on the frame mounts and get this nice and snugged up to the frame rails. Now we're going to test fit our first side. You can see there's 4 bolt holes here. And you want to grab your gold grade 8 bolts. And this is a lock nut. So you want to make sure you don't tighten this down all the way when you're testing, so that you get it. So put 4 bolts in each. And you'll see here on the wing, it's got the same bolt holes. It looks like I'm going to have to trim some of this inner fender here. And I've already trimmed a lot of it because of removing the stock fender, so keep that in mind. You should also take notice that this top bolt and this bottom bolt holes are going to be threaded. These ones on the outside are not. So you'll have a nut to put on the other side of that, but these are threaded. The bolts are going to be 16 millimeter, and the nuts are going to be 18 millimeter. Now, as you can clearly see, these guys know what they're doing when it comes to making Prerunner bumpers. I can't stop staring at this thing, okay? It's fantastic. It's so nice to have a front bumper again. But that's not just it. This bumper looks fantastic, and I love the aluminum skid plate with their logo in it. You really can't get any better than this for a Prerunner bumper. But as you can see, everything is lined up. Everything fits just the way it should. So now, you get a couple other little things. You get some light brackets. There's an LED bar that you can get that goes right in the center here. So we're gonna go ahead and take everything off. We're gonna paint this bumper up, and then from there, I will show you everything else to get this bumper finished. You really gotta love small businesses. I love the letters that they send, and this has to be one of my favorite candies of all time. So, I mean, you really can't beat it. If you're a sour candy fan out there, I suggest you order one of these bumpers. Now that our bumper is painted, everything is prepped on the front end of the vehicle, including all the tabs. The bumper brackets are cut. These brackets are cut. Everything is back in place where it should be. We're going to go ahead and put the center welded bumper piece up onto the frame rails. And they gave us new washers and nuts for those studs on the frame rails. So let's go ahead and get the center piece up on there. Now once you've got everything right where you want it to be, and there are options how to angle your bumper wings in at certain angles, and there's instructions on that on their website if you want to check that out. But if you have everything where you want it to be, go ahead and tighten everything up, and then we've got one last piece to do before this project is over. So let's go ahead and tighten everything up. Now that you've got everything tightened down, we can go ahead and put our plastic valances on. They are designed to have the rough edges outwards, but they say you can do it either way. However, you must keep in mind that this edge back here, where it tapers off, has to point up outwards. So like, for example, this upwards point would go towards the outside of the bumper. Now, you'll want to start by putting a screw in here and then work your way towards the inside of the bumper. You'll see in here that I used a washer on this side, but not this side. You have plenty of washers that come in this kit. You can put a washer on both sides on all four of these yellow or gold grade 8 bolts. Especially if you're going to be doing hardcore off-roading. I drive to work. That's about it. Like I showed you before, you get a package of light bar brackets with all the hardware that you need. And I'll show you. So this narrow side here is going to bolt in. Well, you can't really see it, but it's right behind the valance right here. There's 2 holes. And then this piece here will mount to the LED bar. So this side will be facing towards the outside of the bumper. And you can mount that on both sides. And then you can twist it and angle it however you want in this section right here. That was my installation of the Ascend Fabrications Prerunner bumper for the 03 to 09 Toyota 4Runner. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think this bumper looks fantastic, and like I said, it's super flush up against the body. Looks great. So I hope this helps someone. Please check out my other videos and look at my LinkTree. It's got all my links to all my different social medias. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.